Howdy everyone, this is LockNutz, and you're watching a map tour of Piney Run by Poorboy. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, how are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, I tell you what, today we get to go on a map tour of Piney Run. This little bad mamma jamma is 34.7 megabytes to download and is very cross-platform friendly. Now this map here is by Poorboy, and Poorboy has a little message for us that this map was dedicated to his son, Jasper. Pretty darn neat if you ask me. Now what we've gone ahead and done here is we've set this gameplay up in new farmer mode so that you guys know what you'd end up with in new farmers mode. So without further ado, let's see what equipment you're going to start out with. Alright everybody, so we're actually going to go and take a quick little peek at some of the modded vehicles that do come along on this map here. Starting off with trucks, you do start off with one Pinnacle here as a modded vehicle, and the biggest difference is, and this is going to be for all of the equipment, is that you have a weight difference. This is 9 tons, this is 11.6. I believe that has a lot to do with the gear ratio that has to go on here. I did some test driving around. It seems to be that these are all heavier to make them a little bit more stable, and they're geared a little bit different to be able to handle the extra weight and the trees and the hills and everything that you go ahead and see. So keep that in mind. So you do have one truck here that is available. Forestry machinery here. We do have, come right over here, you do have 2 Ponzis that are the 2 Komatsus and the 2 Rotines. They are all customly done, and like I said before, they're all much heavier and geared slightly different to help you out on your journeys. Wheel loaders. There is one wheel loader in here that has been modded, and it is kind of custom because you can go ahead and make whatever color you want this thing to go. Same thing, a little bit heavier, geared a little bit different to be able to handle things. And then lastly, of the modded vehicles, you are looking at the 1986 pickup truck, and same thing, it's heavier. This one's over 2 times as heavy, and it is geared differently. I've tried this thing out here on the map so far, and it makes a big difference. Now let's take a look at the equipment that you'd actually start off with, and we're going to start off with one John Deere tractor, nice medium little bugger. And what's better than that, a second John Deere, this one a little bit bigger. Trucks, you do start off with that modded truck that's in here. Harvesters, you start off with the John Deere T560, not too shabby, and that does come along with one grain header. Forestry machinery, you do start off with the 2 Rotines here. Wheeled loader, you start off with the Kloss wheel loader, modded one. Truck, you do start off with one truck, and that is one of those modded trucks. Trailers, you do start off with 2 trailers in here, so this is kind of nice. It's a nice little change of pace for you, I guess, if you will. Disc harrow, you do start off with one PowerFlex disc harrow, one Verstat planter. Sprayer, you start off with one Hardy sprayer. Fertilizer spreader, you start off with one Breedel, and it is nice because it does do both fertilizer and lime. Mowers, you start off with one Kverneland mowing deck. Tedders, one Kuhn tedder. Windrower, you start off with one Schmazzy windrower. Forage wagon, one Stropman forage wagon. Baler, one Kuhn round baler, pretty slick. One Fweagle timber runner for your trucking. One Quickie front loader, coming along with one pallet fork, round bale fork, and universal bucket for that loader. Wheeled loader, you do get one high dump bucket. And then to round everything all up, you do get yourself one small little trailer for moving things around. All in all, guys, lots of stuff in there. I know, a lot of stuff you can start off with, and a lot of neat little implements that you can go ahead and purchase, or I should say, vehicles that you can purchase that are a little bit modded. Now, with that being said, let's take a second here and check out the map. All right, everyone, so this is the map. You betcha this is the map right here. As you can see, there's a lot of Well, it looks like a lot of nothing. This is all tree throughout here. All of this stuff is all wood, so you got that going for you. With that being said, there's a lot of trees on here. You do start off with carpentry. There you go. You do actually end up starting off with the carpentry here and the oil mills, to keep that in mind. Now, your carpentry's right here and your oil mill's up there. Other than that, there's the sawmill, but there really is no other production. So if you want to put production stuff on, that's kind of up to you to take care of. Keep that in mind. You do have an animal dealership up here, and one thing that I find kind of weird is there are 3 pastures out here. Cow pasture, sheep pasture, chicken pasture. I've spent a while screwing around with this, and I have no idea how you get these to work. There's an animal icon there to go ahead and interface with it. Does not allow you to do it. I've gone to the animal dealer with a truck to try and fill the truck up to bring back home. Won't let me do it because it says it doesn't have anything. With that being said, you own that land. So not really sure what's going on with that. I'm sure there'll be a little tweak eventually here to take care of things. But with that being said, this chunk of land right here actually is the most expensive plot on the entire map, coming in at a cool $3.6 million. Holy cats. On the other end of that spectrum, the cheapest plot that is available to you is this one up here, and that's $587,000. So not too shabby. Bit of a price difference, just a hair. And then if you kind of go around the map here, it's kind of typical for a forestry map. A lot of high-priced areas, a lot of high-priced plots, but you also have the possibility of making just an absolute ton of cash with trees. Trees are very, very lucrative. With that being said, guys, let's actually physically get on the ground and take a look at this map from down below. All right, guys, one thing I want to do here really quick is I want to turn on the map in the corner so you guys can kind of hang out and follow along with me as we go. All right, so we're going to hop into the truck here and take a quick little look at the, I'm using air quotes, you can't see it, but farmyard. To kind of see what we have going on here. So you got your main house up here that does have a sleep trigger. That's pretty darn nice. And as we cross our bridge, you betcha, our bridge, you'll see that you do have a little bit of storage up here for some of your machinery and whatever you want to go ahead and put in there. You do have one silage bunker that's hiding on the back side over here. Kind of keep that in mind. So you can obviously do grass, make a little bit of silage. Nothing wrong with that. You have your grass field right out here, and another little storage area. Pretty darn slick. Now, that little trailer here, you can kind of see this is what they're anticipating you're going to use this little tiny trailer for just hauling pallets back and forth wherever you got to go. All in all, that's kind of a neat little thing right there. Let's continue on this way, and you'll see we do have a couple more vehicles that are parked up in these nice little staging areas. It's pretty slick. And then as we drive back around here, these are those animal pens that I was telling you about that I can't get to work. Guys, go ahead, comment down below. Let me know if I'm doing something wrong here. I will come over here and I'll even throw my trigger up. Nothing happens. It doesn't even register that anything's there. So, not sure what it is. Like I said, comment down below. Let me know if I'm missing something, or if, like I said, if maybe there's something that'll be coming up in the near future. Don't know. Not too sure of what's going on here. But as you can see here, this is kind of what you got going on. A lot of these type of places where it looks like the road's going to end up going, but it ends up just not going anywhere. I guess the road leads wherever you want it to go. Now, one of the things that I'm going to go about doing here really quick is there are a couple fields here on the map. All the fields are very, very flat. You do have that old abandoned barn back over there, but there's really nothing right there. Just your old abandoned barn that you see around from map to map. But taking a look at... Yeah, let's get this thing turned around here. Taking a look at your field over here, they're all pretty flat. There's nothing wrong with that, though. I mean, this is a forestry map, and it does give you that opportunity to go ahead and do a little bit of farming if you want to. Maybe go ahead, do your farming, and then use the timed go out in the woods the time you're spending letting all your crops go. Not that bad of an idea, not that bad of a plan. So let's go ahead, join up with the road here, and then we're going to drive for just a little bit so you guys can kind of get a feel for how the roads end up looking, how all this stuff ends up fitting together. As you can see, the roads are very flat and level, which is great. We've seen a couple forestry style maps. Let's take this way. Some forestry style maps that have come out, I don't want to say recently, but we've had them come out and the roads are absolutely bumpy and lumpy and undulated. This isn't too bad. The roads are narrow, so you got to watch out what's going on, and you do have that odd tree that's right up next to the road, so you have to be careful for that, and that is for darn sure. Now, we are pulling up onto timber time, so this must be the carpentry place right here. Not too shabby, and then as you can see, oh, look at that. I wonder if that's supposed to be like a large tree here. It looks like a pile of rocks. I'm not going to worry about it. You do have your lime dispensary over here, or not lime dispensary, your rock selling point. It's kind of neat that they have this little ramp right there. That is pretty cool. So let's come on over here, and one of the things that I'm going to kind of do for a little while, guys, here before we fly up into the sky, is I'm going to drive around in the woods. Hopefully this doesn't turn out to be a complete total nightmare. I can't make any guarantees, but this is kind of a good indication of what you guys are going to end up seeing here. We got right here. Oh, cool. This is what I was gonna say. This is what you guys are going to end up seeing here. You have a lot of these locations that are, you have trees, they're out and about. You can get lost in them, I guess is a good way to say it. So kind of keep your eyes open wherever it is that you're going here, because there is lots and lots of room to get lost, lots and lots of room to handle all your little bits and pieces that you got to go about doing. So you got your log selling point right over here, not too shabby. And there is the sawmill right over there. So pretty darn slick. Nice little way station. When it comes to the forest, though, you really, like I said, you got these hills here. You got to watch out for those. But as you guys can see, I'm going to jinx it. I just know it. But I haven't hit a tree yet. There's a woods here that's absolutely full of large mature trees. Let's see if we can get over here and you can kind of see large mature trees all as far as the eye can see. You can just see it running off that way, and that's all you get, but they're spread out pretty darn good. With that being said, is that a bad thing? I really don't think so. There's enough trees on here. I don't think you'll ever well, frankly, I don't think you'll ever have enough time to kind of clear all the trees off and just completely have a big go at it. It would take forever to try and clear all these trees off. And right about here is your oil mill. So what I think we're going to do, guys, here, I think we're going to go ahead and fly up into the sky and take a look at this place from up above. Pretty much all you're going to end up seeing throughout the rest of the forest is exactly what we've kind of gone through. You have little batches that have these bushes in them, makes it a little bit harder to see. Lots of mature trees, but for the most part, you can navigate through them pretty well. I don't think you're going to have a hard time doing much forestry in here, especially with all these lowlands and everything like that. You possibly, if you really wanted to, you could take your semi and just drive way the heck out in the middle of this map and not really get bogged down. Might have a hard time finding your way back, but that's another story. So like I said, guys, let me get ready and then we'll fly up in the sky and take a look at this from a bird's eye view. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and fly up into the sky. Nice slow rise so you can really get a glimpse at what's going on here. Lots of trees, lots of hills. Pretty darn cool if you ask me. I really like the elevation changes. I'm always a fan of elevation changes when it comes to maps. I really do think that that is pretty darn slick. Especially like this, where you got these little lakes up here, roads going all over the place, bumps and bruises, nicks and cuts. You got to love it. Come on down here, you can kind of take a look at this. This is more of like a a drainage retention pond here. Pretty darn cool. Nice to see something like that in there. Let's go ahead and get ourselves up over here. And as you can see, you do have a lot of these spaces here where you can go ahead and maybe make a potential shop. Maybe set yourself up pretty darn slick. You have the selling points here that are a little bit farther out, or I should say the selling point that's a little farther out. And even this location up over here, we actually do have some equipment, if I can find it. Oh yeah, it's up a little bit farther. You do have some equipment up here at this location. And as you can see, at least I think it's right down here. Come on. Let's go a little bit farther here. There you go. And as you can see, we do have something pretty slick over here. Little bit of stone, little bit of a truck right there. Not a truck, but a front loader, your wheel loader. So you can actually go ahead and pick all that stuff up. I'm actually going to hop in this thing really quick here. And let's go ahead and see what they're actually calling this. I believe it's just stone, but yes, it is just stone, the stuff that you'd pick up off the ground. So if that's what you want to go ahead and do, you can go ahead and do a little bit of mining. And let's just go ahead and take a quick little peek at the prices just to see if that sells for anything more than normal. As you can see, you just have the Johnson's Farmers Market on there, and that's it. And stones, it's not a terrible price, to be honest with you. It could be worse, it could be better, but it really isn't all that bad. All right, so hopping out of there, let's go ahead and continue our little aerial tour here. Not too shabby. Not too shabby, guys. I really think this is kind of neat here. Let's go up a little bit higher. I do think this is kind of neat. It definitely gives you a nice feel of you're on the side of a mountain and you're kind of by a little bit of a valley. Pretty darn slick. I'm gonna have to say I kind of like this one. I'm normally not super into forestry maps. I like them, I appreciate them, but I'm usually not super into them. And I think this one is laid out in just a neat way where you have all these elevation changes, and it really does turn out to be something pretty darn slick. Now there's your farmer's market sell point, just so you guys are aware there. Guys, I think this is pretty cool. I think it's awfully neat. Poorboy, nice job. Jasper, I'd be proud if I were you. If you guys want, go ahead and smash that like button if you're liking what you hear and liking what you're seeing. Oh my goodness, help the channel out and hit that subscription. Holy cats, does that help the channel out a ton. Go ahead and hit that notification bell. Have it set to on, and all that way you know when this and other great videos are coming out by myself. Go ahead and share this with somebody who likes a little bit of forestry. You betcha. Maybe even a lumberjack. Time will tell. Time will tell. Guys, I hate to leave you, but I gotta go. And until we see you next time, thanks for stopping by.